So, what I've noticed recently is that right-wing media is truly starting to show their true colors. So many people have been going mask off, sometimes hood off, sometimes the higher ranking, Grand Dragon members are, pulling a little hood off and like that, but they're starting to go a lot more mask off. So Tim Pool has now declared Ukraine an enemy of the that's just foreshadowing for what you're about to see, of the United States, and he is now claiming we should issue an apology. We should issue an apology to Russia. Sign here, please. We should be issuing an apology to Vladdy Boy and all his little minions because apparently Ukraine is expanding this war. And criminal elements of the Democratic Party are funding and directing this war, and the criminal elements of the government are helping, and the criminal elements of the government are helping Ukraine expand this war. Let's see what Timmy Boy has to say.
But I don't know that it matters anymore. This is psychotic. Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Ukraine is our enemy, being funded by the Democrats. I will stress this again. One of the greatest enemies of our nation right now is Ukraine. They are expanding this war. Now, don't get me wrong. I know you've got criminal elements of the U.S. government pushing them and guiding them and telling them what to do. Ukraine is now accused, a German warrant issued for blowing up the Nord Stream pipeline, triggering this conflict. Ukraine is the greatest threat to this nation and to the world. We should rescind all funding and financing, pull out all military support, and we should apologize to Russia. And they know it.
It's just funny to me that Tim Pool claims to care about criminal elements in the U.S. government, despite the fact that criminal elements of the government tried to overturn an election last election. Criminal elements of the government who participated in a scheme to overthrow the results of an election. Those criminal elements, I guess, aren't criminal enough. They're not anti-Russia. They're not anti-conservatism, so I guess their crimes are cool. Their crimes are okay, apparently. Tim Pool is concerned about the Nord Stream pipeline being blown up. It seems like we need to remind Timmy Boy, gee, Nord Stream was blown up months after Russia invaded Ukraine. For you to sit there and say the destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline is what caused the conflict is a reflection of how scary MAGA media actually is. Because it is so dependent upon lies. It is so dependent upon lies, and it's highly dependent upon ignorance of the audience. You're hoping your audience doesn't simply Google Nord Stream pipeline invasion of Ukraine. You are hoping to God Almighty your audience doesn't look that up. Because the moment they look it up will be the moment they realize, oh, there's a little bit of a discrepancy here. Acting as though Ukraine, I guess you're accusing Ukraine of blowing up the pipeline. What are you even trying to say? You're saying they're accusing Germany of blowing it up? What are you even... The timeline is off. The invasion was in February. Nord Stream was in September. How on God's green earth do you make this math even add up for yourself? How? Make it make sense. How is Ukraine the enemy of the United States? Because they're expanding the war? Are they not entitled to invade Russia? Were we expanding the war and engaging in criminal activity when we invaded Germany? When we invaded Japan, when we were planning to invade Japan, we didn't invade them. But what about when we blew them sky high? Were those, acts of crime? I'm trying to understand here exactly what it is you're saying here. Do you want Ukraine to play the war by Russia's rules? That seems like what you want. You want them to engage in a war based upon what Russia says. We can invade you, but if you counter-invade us, that's a crime. We can blow up children's hospitals for cancer, but if you blow anything up, military or civilian, you are criminals. It's crazy how Russia, who can't even commit crimes normally and with function. Russia's ghetto. They're so ghetto, they're hood rats. Y'all can't even engage in criminal activity normally. Y'all hired Wagner to do your dirty work, and then you realize they were a threat. So you start blowing them up and killing them and conspiring against them. The leader of that group then turns on you and then you shoot him out of the sky months later. You can't make up this level of cartoon villainry. But it's real life. It is absolutely real life. And here comes Tim Pool to twerk on stage for Vlad. Tim, stop. This is just disrespectful. To even pretend as though the United States is wrong for helping Ukraine, what do we gain from Russia? The same Russia that threatens the sovereignty of every NATO state? All I've seen since this war is Russia continuing to villainize itself in the eyes of Western nations, threatening Poland, threatening Romania, threatening Moldova, literally. All I ever see is threats from specifically Medvedev. Dmitry Medvedev, the former president of Russia, constantly, that's literally his job, is to issue a new threat. If you go on Reddit right now, whether it's white people Twitter or what's that one that's hilarious, the one where they just fool around the entire time, non-credible defense or credible defense, Medvedev issues his newest threat of the month. Imagine if Barack Obama or even Donald Trump, in his insanity, went on the internet and consistently and constantly threatened other nations with nuclear annihilation over and over again. It's unheard of, but Russia does it all the time, and Tim Pool does not care. Tim Pool couldn't care less, despite the fact that Russia engages in this behavior over and over and over and over and over again unapologetically. The West and Ukraine are to bow before Russia, despite the fact that they're bums in comparison to us. Significant amounts of their civilians are lacking in terms of basic sewage in comparison to us. They're losers, and they can't even engage in like war crimes effectively. They're even bad at that. And we're supposed to apologize to them? Need I remind you guys, Russia effed around and succinctly and promptly found out. What y'all want me to do? Apologize to them? Why? Russia, we all told Vlad. What did Joe say? Don't do it. Stop. Joe Biden with the one-liners. Hey, give it up for Uncle Joe. Joe said, don't do it. What did Vlad do? He didn't listen. That's the problem with y'all conservatives. Y'all don't listen to nobody. We tell y'all don't do something, y'all do it. We told Vlad, don't do that. He did it. Now look at him. He's sinking in the quicksand. Help! That's basically what's happening right now. He's trying to get you, Tucker, Candace, all of y'all to form up like Voltron and post fake news on the internet to convince millions of conservatives to be pro-Putin. He over there sinking. He trying to cling on to something. All he had to do was not invade. Now, he know that if he pulls out of the war, the Russian people are going to look at him like, soft ass, lame ass nigga, like, got us up in that war and got all our people killed over this bullshit. Like, this nigga, he can't even win a war. Like, this nigga getting us, like, look at this nigga. Like, they'll doubt him forever. They will doubt him forever. And if they're pushed out of Ukraine, ooh, it's a tough one. It's a tough one. You know, the reality is Vladdy is probably panicking. The reality of the situation is Russia deserves no apologies. This is their second time illegally invading Ukraine under false pretenses. National security, NATO, da, 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 da. It's always a new lie. What was the first one? He was mad about the Ukrainians ousting Yanukovych, or however you say his bum-ass name. Yakunovich is hilarious. Sounds like Yakub. Sounds funny. Yanukovych, whatever his fucking name is. He's a bum. The Ukrainians oust Yanukovych because they want to be with the West. So Vlad is like, yo, like, I'm not really cool with that. So I'm just going to invade you guys. And we asked Vlad, we said, is that you over there? He said, nah, that's not us. And then once he illegally annexed Crimea, he was like, okay, it's ours now. It's like, nigga, you just said it wasn't you. So now Crimea is his now, right? He illegally invades once. We put little sanctions, like drop a little bit of sanctions out like Salt Bay, little sanctions. That didn't stop anything. Now we're with the second illegal invasion. This time, the new tall tale he's written, the reason why his homework isn't complete is because NATO. Now he's got a new excuse for why he's illegally invaded this country again. And y'all just eat it up. Vladimir Putin disturbs the peace of Europe over, like, just made up stuff. Just tall tales, folk tales, folklore. And y'all just sit there, literal folklore. He's sitting in front of Tucker Carlson, like, just rattling off, like, CK3 storyline shit. I guess that's his own personal playthrough. I guess he's got his own character and shit. I wouldn't be surprised if Poo Poo plays, a little CK3 and shit. I wouldn't be surprised. Vladimir gives off his little rendition of Russian history. And Y'all just ate that one up. Y'all just accepted it. This man has not provided a single justified reason for invading Ukraine. Oh, he's concerned about NATO. Russia's been within ass-whooping distance for years. They've always been within our reach. We've always been able to just pimp slap them. Forever. That's never... Like, why are y'all acting brand new? Because Vlad acting brand new, y'all about to act brand new too? Stop. Stop. And how did that turn out for y'all, by the way? Sweden and Finland joined NATO. Y'all look like clowns. Stop putting on clown makeup and doing the little dance for Putin. Just stop. Stop doing minstrel shows for him. Just stop. He effed up. He miscalculated. Now another nation state that borders Russia with a significant border has joined NATO. This man literally lost his leverage. What's he going to do at the negotiating table? We're concerned about Ukraine being in NATO. Well, Finland just joined. And they didn't invade you. Now what? What are you going to do? What's your leverage? Russia has no leverage besides we'll stop killing people if you give us exactly what we want, how we want it. No. No. Russia's justifications for these invasions, more than one, are all bunk, BS, lies. When you have a nation state willing to disturb the security and the balance of peace in Europe over made-up nonsense, you don't appease them by giving them what they want. If you want to disturb the peace, you will pay the price. Your military will be destroyed. Your economy will be damaged. You will pay a price. The goal right now should be to make sure Russia is militarily and economically incapable of pulling some buffoonery like this again for like another 30, 40 years. That's like 2 generations of Americans who shouldn't have to worry about going to war. Whatever we got to do to send a message to the Russian people that this kind of behavior is unacceptable, we got to do it. I mean, I don't know what to tell y'all, bro. Like, Tim Pool is over here writing his own fan fiction, trying to explain this shit away. Putin's been trying his best to push fan fiction, bro. Like, y'all got to realize, bro, like, it's not looking good for y'all over there. You know, conservatives have to stop, bro. What are y'all doing? When did this happen to y'all? Why are y'all becoming Putin shills? Just because Tucker Carlson is doing it doesn't mean you have to. Donald Trump was actually right when he said the media is the enemy of the people. Because a lot of conservatives were never pro-Russia until Tucker and them. I swear to God, bro. Swear to God. Conservatives used to understand where everything was geopolitically, generally speaking, until Tucker. Until this nonsense. The media can convince the common man to vote and support things that don't actually reflect his needs. Like, Tucker Carlson has convinced millions of conservatives to be pro-Russia when Tucker Carlson has convinced millions of Americans to be pro-Russia when Russia isn't pro-you. They don't like you. They don't want to be friends with you. They want your spot. They want what you have. The prosperity, the global dominance. They want what you have. Russia doesn't want to share with you and be side-by-side buddies with you. No, they don't. They want your spot. They're not your friends. Tim Pool, I don't know why he even pretends to be centrist anymore. Just tell the truth. You are a right-wing conservative now. Which is fine, but like, if you're gonna like suck up to Putin and support Trump, now we got a problem. Supporting insurrectionists and dictators who silence the media and form state media to administer their truths to the public. This is un-American. This is disgusting. What's that clip from GTA? Anti-American activity. This is exactly what's happening here. It's anti-American activity. Y'all gotta stop, bro. Like, this is not cool, okay, guys? This is not okay. What y'all need to do, goddamn, is y'all need to just take a little chill pill. At the end of the day, I would highly encourage conservatives to step away from the bullshit. Don't join Putin and Trump. They're criminals. They put themselves in the positions that they're in, and they want to drag the rest of y'all in there to make it easier for them to get away. Don't join them. Let them face the consequences of their actions. It's like when you it's like why would you even like want to get yourself caught up in that? Let them face the consequences of their own actions. Let them pull themselves up by their bootstraps. They should have followed the law. They should have done what they were told by the authorities. Okay? But they didn't. So now consequences will befall them. It is what it is. Look, if you F with the video, if you support the video, be sure to support the channel. Like, comment, subscribe. Send it to your friends. Send it to the fam. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.